Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Bad Bookers Wrestling Podcast. My name is Jack, and today we are reviewing Monday Night Raw. A bit of an iffy Monday Night Raw. I turned it off halfway through, turned it back on. It was pretty dire, to be fair. It was pretty dire. The last hour and a half was alright, but the first hour and a half was garbage. Absolute garbage. First of all, before we kick everything off, I would like to thank everyone that turned up to our live stream for our live reactions for the Super Showdown on Saturday. Me, Smoothman and Matt, like I said, we did a live stream with our live reactions because for us, Super Showdown was 10 o'clock in the morning. So, the perfect timing for us Brits. But we very, very much enjoyed ourselves. We'd like to thank everyone that turned up. We had a very active chat for the most part. And yeah, we didn't expect as many people to turn up as they did. So thank you. We had a lot of fun. I hope you did as well. But let's kick off into Raw. We kicked off Raw with Triple H and Shawn Michaels coming out and confirming the rumours, if you will, that Shawn Michaels was coming out of retirement and there was going to be this tag team match at WWE Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia between DX and the Brothers of Destruction. And if it was anything if the match in Super Showdown was anything to go by, this is just going to be garbage because I didn't quite enjoy the Super Showdown match because it just wasn't like there's only so much that nostalgia can take you. And they're really going for this. And like the promos before Trips versus Taker were fantastic. The match itself was pretty diabolical, I'm not going to lie. And it was the longest match on the card. I think it was about half hour long or just under half hour long. So Taker looked out of it afterwards. And I don't know, I'm not going to get into it, but we're going to get DX versus Brothers Destruction at Saudi Arabia, and I just think they're relying on too much on nostalgia acts and whatnot, and the more they do it, the less likely we're going to want to see it, which is a shame, but what can you do? Shawn Michaels is now out of retirement. He's probably going to have a match with Taker, probably at Survivor Series or something like that. That's the rumour going round. And you would hope it would be Taker's actual retirement match, like retiring at Survivor Series where it all started, where he debuted. So maybe, maybe not. We'll have to wait and see. But the first match of the night was Bobby Lashley defeating Kevin Owens. Now you might think, oh, that buries Kevin Owens. This was a Bobby Lashley heel turn, which, for me, I wasn't expecting a heel turn from Bobby Lashley, and it potentially was a double turn with Kevin Owens going face. I mean, Kevin Owens is pretty much a face anyway, especially after the Braun Strowman stuff. But Bobby Lashley beat him. Leo Rush was on the mic the whole match. This match was on for about 15 minutes, 20 minutes, I think. Leo Rush was on the microphone the whole night. And, like, hyping up Bobby Lashley, and it was perfect. It annoyed the shit out of me, which is perfect heel work, if I'm honest. And Bobby Lashley won. He was all cocky and whatnot. And then him and Leo Rush were going to walk up the ramp, and Bobby Lashley decided to go back and absolutely demolish Kevin Owens again. So, good. I think they needed to do something with Bobby Lashley. If it means Kevin Owens is face as well, I'm not going to complain, because Kevin Owens has pretty much been a face, like I said, since the Braun Strowman stuff. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. Bobby Lashley already seems more invest worthy, if that's a thing, as a heel than as a face. But we'll have to wait and see, won't we? Next up, we had a rematch from Super Showdown, the 6-woman tag match between Ronda Rousey and the Bella Twins versus the Riot Squad, which Ronda Rousey made Ruby Riot tap out, so all 3 of the Riot Squad have tapped out to Ronda Rousey. I can see why, you want to make Ronda look as strong as possible and make her beat all the women on the roster. But at the end of the day, like, Ruby Riott is quality, and I don't know. I didn't quite like it, but I can understand why it happens. But then the talk was about after the match, and Nikki Bella and Brie Bella turning on Ronda Rousey, once again turning heel, 2 matches in a row, we've had a heel turn, and destroying Ronda. And it's confirmed now. The rumours have been going around for weeks, maybe in the months, that it was going to be Nikki versus Ronda at Evolution, which it is. So Ronda's going to defend her Women's Championship at Evolution against Nikki Bella. I've said enough about the Bellas on this review to not say any more. That's about it. Hopefully the Riot Squad get given a decent feud now, and they can go win a feud and look strong, and Ruby Riott can push up even further up the card, because Ruby Riott's excellent. Jury, in my opinion, jury's still out on Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan, but Liv Morgan and Brie Bella had a pretty much a brawl, which was great to see. But yeah, hopefully they can just build Ruby Riott up more. Like I said, we'll have to wait and see about that. Next up, we had a mixed match challenge kind of match. Team B&B, Finn Balor and Bayley versus Jinder Mahal and Alicia Fox. Team Mahalisha. Pretty normal match. Finn Balor and Bayley won, as you would expect. Nothing more to say about it, if I'm honest. What was next? We had the Battle Royale for this World Cup in Saudi Arabia. This WWE World Cup, as they're billing it. They had a Battle Royale versus with the winner of it would qualify for the World Cup, and they had, I can't remember how many competitors there were. It's probably 10. 10 of the best wrestlers from around the world. I can't remember which nationalities. This is the point where I turned it off, because everything was all stereotypical. Like, you had a luchador, massive luchador mask, sombrero on. You had a Belgium who was dressed up as a chef. You had a Russian guy who was looking all mean with I forgot what they're called. The hat. The name's there, I just can't. It's on the tip of my tongue, I just can't say it. I don't know why. It was all stereotypical, and I was like, I can't be dealing with this. So I turned it off, and then I looked through Twitter, but I'll go for it. Baron Corbin booked himself in this match. The winner qualifies for the World Cup against all these no ones, basically. And the Baron Corbin eliminated everyone except for one person, which was the Conquistador. If you remember, Edge and Christian used to dress up as Conquistadors. I think Matt and Jeff Hardy even dressed up as them, as they won the tag titles at one point against Edge and Christian. So the Conquistador won. The Conquistador also pulled out an angle slam, and Twitter seemed to go mental. And I turned it back on, and Kurt Angle was there, and Kurt Angle eliminated Baron Corbin, and he's going through to the World Cup in Saudi Arabia. So at the moment, they have put John Cena in the World Cup, and we've got Kurt Angle there as well. So we might see a match between John Cena and Kurt Angle. I would love to see that, if I'm honest, because they never really finished their little feud. One last match, I guess. At least John Cena can still wrestle. Like, it's not a nostalgia act in that part. Kurt Angle, he can probably still do it. He looks a bit slow in the ring now, but at least let's see it once before Kurt Angle retires in a few years' time, probably. But yeah, Kurt Angle, John Cena, they're going to the World Cup, and there's 6 more spots. I think it's an 8-man tournament, and they're going to do a tournament process throughout the night as well. So if they're going to do that, it's going to be like 6 hours long, this pay-per-view. It's going to be bad. Next up, we had a match between Ember Moon and Nia Jax, who obviously have been friends for a very long time. They've been tag teaming against Alexa Bliss and Mickie James and Alicia Fox, but now they're facing off against each other. Ember Moon got a job entrance, which is a piss take. But she did win. She won via a count out. It was a pretty quick match, to be honest, but Ember Moon managed to make Nia Jax hit the advertising boards on the outside of the ring, and that kind of KO'd Nia, and Ember jumped back in the ring, just beat the count, and she won via a count out, which I can live with. Ember Moon picks up a win against Nia Jax, who's this monster. So, yeah, a monster face at the moment. I thought she was going to turn heel again, but she didn't, so that's fine by me. And, yeah, Ember Moon won. There was hugs afterwards. She didn't turn heel. And move on from there, because I was fine. It seemed like the right thing there, but it seemed a little bit like filler, but at least the right person won, in my opinion. Next up, we had Trish Stratus walk down to the ring and talk about last week's moment of bliss, where Alexa was talking about how Trish Stratus pied her off pretty much when she was 7 years old. The math was all off, which Trish Stratus brought up, and Alexa Bliss and Mickie James cut her off. They walked into the ring and said, look, why don't we make this a tag team match if you think that I'm protecting Alexa Bliss so much? This is what Mickie James said. And Trish was like, bearing in mind, the two matches had already been confirmed, Mickie James and Lita versus Trish Stratus and Alexa Bliss, so it wasn't really a surprise who the tag team partner was, but Trish brought out Lita, the crowd went mental. Trish and Lita took Alexa Bliss and Mickie apart. I'm more invested in a tag team match than the two singles matches. I think it makes more sense to have a tag team match. It saves Alexa Bliss from doing a full match if she's currently injured as well. And I'm not saying that they won't be able to do it, but you don't know how well Trish and Lita would do in a singles match where it's all about, you know, stamina and whatnot, and they haven't wrestled for ages, so that there might be too much ring rust. So a tag team match would be better. I realised the light kind of like dimmed down then, so I do apologise. But yeah, a tag team match is going to... I'm more invested in it myself, in a tag team match. So I'm happy with it. I'm just glad they're starting to build to Evolution, because it's only in 2 weeks' time, I think. So, yeah. Because we're not going to have two singles matches, which was advertised. They'd already confirmed it was two singles matches, but a tag team match, I think everyone's going to be more happy with a tag team match, in my opinion. Next up, we had Bobby Roode and Chad Gable versus The Ascension. Obviously, Connor from The Ascension had beaten both Bobby Roode and Chad Gable in singles action. But this time, they beat The Ascension in tag team action, Bobby Roode and Chad Gable. But it looked like Bobby Roode was just about to argue with Chad Gable, and then the music of The Authors of Pain hit, and they came running down, demolished The Ascension, demolished Roode and Chad Gable, and I'm really liking it. I'm really liking how the AOP are destroying everyone and making them seem like legitimate candidates for a tag team title run. It's fantastic. It's what you want. AOP should be tag team titles sooner rather than later. I don't know when it would be, but I'm more than happy to see it, because at the moment they're doing so much more than they were a couple of months ago. So fantastic. There's not much more to say about it. They just absolutely wiped everyone out. And Drake Maverick had that Cheshire Cat grin on his face, which is perfect. He's perfect in that role, in my opinion. Ignore the 205 Live stuff, being a face in 205 Live. He's perfect in that role, in my opinion. Next up, we had Paul Heyman come out, and he was talking about how he'd love to see Roman and Braun just beat each other to a pulp at Super Showdown, and he was here tonight to see it once again and have them weakened for Crown Jewel for when Brock Lesnar returns to get the title back. It was a standard Paul Heyman promo. It was very good. It built up hype for the triple threat, which is fine. We don't need to build up hype for it. We got Evolution before it. So, yeah. But next up, we had the main event and the rematch of the Shield versus the Dogs of War. Drew McIntyre, Dolph Ziggler, and Braun Strowman. I fell asleep during this match live. I have watched it back. No, I fell asleep because I was shattered. I didn't fall asleep because it was boring. It was a very good match, which it always is with those six in. And the match ended with the Shield looking like they're on top, but then, well, first of all, in the middle of the match, we had Braun Strowman pretty much blame Dolph Ziggler for something in the match, I can't remember what, and Dolph Ziggler accidentally slapped him on the chest, Braun Strowman on the chest, and Braun went mental and grabbed his throat, and Drew McIntyre came to Dolph Ziggler's rescue, and there was intense eye-to-eye for about 30 seconds or so between Drew and Braun. So not only are the teasing the Shield breaking up, they're teasing the team breaking up. And there's so many different avenues this could go down. It's mental to keep up. But I'm liking it. I'm really liking it. It's like, oh well, Dean's not going to turn if they're going to turn, but what if Dolph and Dean, or Drew and Dean, make a team together? And what if this happens? What if that happens? There's so many options, and I'm liking it. It's not so predictable. Predictable's good, but sometimes a massive surprise is fantastic. Even if Dean Ambrose turned heel, which is the most predictable thing to do, I would see it as still a surprise, in my opinion, because I don't know when it's going to happen. And it could happen before or after Braun Strowman, Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre all kill themselves. Like, when's it going to happen? But at the end of the match, Shield looked like they're on top. Roman clotheslined himself and Dolph Ziggler out the ring. Dean Ambrose turned around just to be met with a Claymore kick from Drew McIntyre. 1, 2, 3. Drew McIntyre pins Dean Ambrose. And the interesting thing was, instead of doing the Shield fist or coming in together and, you know, making sure everyone's alright and kind of, you know, feeling sorry for themselves inside the ring, Dean Ambrose looked pissed off at himself and just walked off on his own. Walked to the back on his own, leaving Seth and Roman in the ring. So I wouldn't say that he's turned heel. I would say he's gonna probably snap at some point and go absolutely mental and start destroying people, because he keeps on losing, which I like. It's really adding to it. He's the one that keeps on taking the pin. He's the one that he might be thinking to himself, am I the weak link in this side? We'll have to wait and see, because I'm really liking the way this is going at the moment, and it's incredible. But I will end it there. Once again, thank you for everyone that turned up for the live stream, and hopefully we're going to do another one again soon. I don't know when. We'll update you on Twitter, so if you follow us at BadBookersWP, you'll find out if we're going to do another live stream for maybe even Evolution. If it was Evolution, it would just be me, but we'll definitely probably do one for Crown Draw, where hopefully everyone will turn up for that and be involved, because obviously Chris has he's got kids, so we have to look after the kids, whereas none of us have got kids. So hopefully, I think last time it was like 8 o'clock at night, so maybe Chris can hopefully turn up for that if his kids are in bed. But family comes first. You can't pick family over over watching a wrestling show at 10 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday morning. So yeah, hopefully all 4 of us can get involved. If not, that's fine. But hopefully you guys can get involved as well, and we can get even bigger viewerships and even bigger active chat. And just because I still look at it on the dashboard on YouTube, I'm like, how the hell have that many people turned up to watch us do live reactions? And some of them are probably clicking on it to see if we were streaming the fight live, streaming the whole pay-per-view live, like just on our screen. We did have one person ask, why don't you show what's going on? Copyright. We don't want to get banned. But yeah, just come along, have a laugh, and like I said, follow us on Twitter so you know when the next one's going to happen. Please like, please subscribe, and I shall see you again for tomorrow for SmackDown Live. And next week it's going to be SmackDown Live 1000, which should be good. We've got a whole load of old faces coming, so that should be good. But yeah, like, subscribe, and I shall see you again tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching.